What if I told you that the greatest battles you'll ever face aren't out there, they're within you? Life will test you, it will push you, and it will try to break you. But here's the truth: your strength, your resilience, your ability to rise above it all, that's what defines you. It's not about what happens to you, it's about how you choose to respond. This is your reminder that no matter what life throws your way, you have the power to stay unshakable. Let's dive into how you can master the art of resilience and take control of your life. Life is full of distractions. There's always something vying for your attention, always something trying to knock you off course or get under your skin. But you've got to rise above it. You need to be stronger than the noise, stronger than the chaos. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Opinions flood every corner, with people eager to tell you who you are, what you should do, and how you should feel. Most of the time, their words aren't even about helping you, they're about themselves, their agenda, their ego, their insecurities. But in the midst of all this noise, you've got to find your peace. You've got to learn how to let nothing affect you. Now, this doesn't mean walking through life like you're made of stone or pretending you don't feel anything. We're all human, we all have emotions. But the real key lies in learning to control those emotions. Stop letting every little thing get to you. Stop allowing people and circumstances to dictate how you feel. When you let outside forces control your emotions, you surrender your power and your strength. And when that happens, you lose control over your own life. So the question is, how do you stay in control? How do you navigate life without letting anything knock you down? It all begins with understanding who you are. You need to know yourself so well that no one else's opinion can shake you. Be so grounded in your identity and your purpose that nothing and no one can make you doubt who you are or why you're here. That kind of strength, that unwavering confidence comes from within. It doesn't come from people telling you you're great, talented, or special. It comes from you knowing it for yourself. When you truly know who you are, the words and actions of others lose their power over you. You're no longer seeking validation, approval, or reassurance, because you already know you're enough. And that's where your power lies. That's where your strength comes from. So when someone criticizes you or doubts you, it doesn't affect you the way it would if you were unsure of yourself. You keep moving forward, focused on your path, because you know exactly who you are and what you're capable of. But let's be honest, it's not always easy to reach that level of self-awareness. Many people go through life unsure of who they are, spending so much time trying to meet others' expectations or live up to their standards that they lose sight of their true selves. When you don't know who you are, you become vulnerable. Other people's opinions hit harder, and every criticism feels like a personal attack. But when you're deeply rooted in your identity, none of that can touch you. You become unshakable. So how do you reach that point? How do you build that unshakable confidence? It starts with self-reflection. You have to take the time to truly understand yourself. That means looking in the mirror and being honest about who you are, what you want, and what you stand for. You've got to ask yourself the tough questions. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What do I truly believe in? What am I willing to fight for? Most importantly, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? When you take the time to answer these questions, you build a solid foundation. You gain clarity about who you are and what you're about. With that clarity, it becomes much harder for others to shake you. Their opinions lose their weight because you've already defined yourself. But self-awareness doesn't stop with reflection. It's also shaped by experience. You need to live life, face challenges, and make mistakes to truly understand who you are. You learn about yourself through your actions, how you handle adversity, how you react when things don't go your way. It's easy to feel confident when everything's going smoothly. But the real test comes when life throws you a curveball. That's when you discover your true strength. When you're pushed to your limits, you find out what you're made of. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, builds your confidence. It proves to you, time and time again, that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it. And that's a powerful place to be. When you know you can face anything, nothing can shake you. You walk through life with quiet confidence, fully in control of your destiny. But knowing yourself doesn't mean being perfect or having all the answers. It means being okay with who you are, flaws and all. It's about striving to be the best version of yourself, not a perfect version. And when you're focused on self-growth, other people's opinions lose their importance. You stop worrying about what they think because you're too busy working on becoming better. That's the key: focus on your growth, not on other people's opinions. The more you try to prove yourself to others, the more you lose sight of what truly matters, your path, your purpose. But when you prioritize your own growth and self-validation, you become unstoppable. You're no longer waiting for others to tell you you're enough because you already know you are. And when you operate from that self-assured place, nothing and no one can affect you. But here's the thing, it's not enough to know yourself. You also need to stay committed to your purpose. Be so focused on what you're here to do that no distraction can pull you off course. When you have a clear purpose, when you know what you're working toward, the noise becomes easier to ignore. You're not distracted by what others are saying or doing because you're too focused on your own path. And staying on your path, that's what matters most. Too often we get caught up in comparing ourselves to others. We watch what they're achieving, how far they've come, and suddenly we start doubting ourselves. Are we on the right track? Are we doing enough? But comparison is a trap. It pulls your focus away from your journey and directs it towards someone else's. And when that happens, you lose your way. You've got to stay committed to your own path, your own goals. Every journey is different. Everyone's timeline is unique. What's meant for you will come in its own time. But if you're too busy looking at what someone else is doing, you'll miss what's meant for you. So stop comparing. Don't let their success or opinions affect you. Stay focused on your journey and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Now, let's talk about criticism. No matter how confident you are or how well you know yourself, criticism is inevitable. There will always be people who try to bring you down, who try to make you doubt yourself. But you can't let that criticism affect you. You can't let it make you question who you are or what you're capable of. You need to learn how to filter the noise. Not all criticism is bad. Sometimes it holds value. Sometimes people see things you can't, and their feedback can help you grow. But the key is to differentiate between constructive and destructive criticism. Recognize when someone is offering something useful and when they're simply trying to tear you down. Take what's helpful and let go of the rest. Even with constructive criticism, though, you can't let it define you. Take it as a tool to improve, but don't let it shake your confidence. Don't let it make you question your worth. Because your worth doesn't come from others' opinions, it comes from within. Remember this about criticism, it often reflects the person giving it, not the one receiving it. People criticize what they don't understand or what they fear. When someone criticizes you, it's often a mirror of their own insecurities, not a reflection of your value. So don't take it personally. Don't let it affect you. How do you walk through life without letting anything affect you? By knowing yourself, by staying committed to your purpose, by filtering the noise and continuing forward, no matter what. Don't let criticism, doubt, or fear hold you back. Don't let others' opinions make you question yourself. Focus on what truly matters, your growth, your purpose, your journey. When you live with that clarity and confidence, nothing can stop you. You become unshakable. You become someone who can handle anything life throws at you. That's what it means to walk through life unaffected. You know who you are, you know your purpose, and you stay focused no matter what. And when you live like that, nothing can bring you down. That kind of strength is built from within, and it's unbreakable. But let's be honest, it's not easy. Life is constantly testing you. Situations will arise to challenge your belief in yourself. People will cross your path, trying to bring you down, trying to make you doubt yourself. Sometimes those people are the ones closest to you, friends, family, loved ones. They might tell you you're not good enough, that your dreams are impossible, that you should just give up. In those moments, you face a choice: listen to them or listen to yourself. You have to remember that their opinions are just that, opinions, not facts. Just because someone says something about you doesn't make it true. People project their fears and insecurities onto others. They tell you that you can't because they don't believe they can. They try to hold you back because they're too scared to move forward. But that's their burden, not yours. You've got to learn to recognize this and not let it affect you. And that takes practice, discipline, and a conscious effort every single day. You've got to block out the negativity, the doubt, and the fear, and replace it with positivity, confidence, and faith. The more you practice this, the stronger your armor becomes. Over time, fewer things can affect you. But it's not just the external negativity you have to deal with. Sometimes your greatest enemy is within. That voice in your head that whispers you're not good enough. That makes you doubt yourself, that's the voice you need to confront. It's one thing to handle others' opinions, but when your own mind turns against you, that's the real battle. Self-doubt is deeply personal. It's your own mind telling you you're not worthy, that you can't do it, that you're not capable. And when that voice gets loud, it's hard to ignore. But here's the truth. That voice doesn't speak reality. It's fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of stepping outside your comfort zone. And you can't let fear dictate your life. You've got to push through it. Talk back to that voice. Shift your focus from fear to your strengths. Think about what you've accomplished, the challenges you've overcome. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself who you are and what you're capable of. You've faced challenges before and emerged stronger. You've overcome negativity, fear, and doubt before. So why stop now? Daily battle. Why let fear win today? Every day you must choose to believe in yourself. Every day you must tune out the negativity and focus on the positive. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Believing in yourself becomes second nature. But even then, there will be tough days, moments when doubt feels overwhelming, when negativity feels relentless. On those days, you've got to dig deep. You've got to reconnect with your purpose, your vision, your goals. Because your purpose is your anchor. When you're clear about what you want and why you want it, you become unstoppable. No criticism, no fear, no obstacle can derail you when you're focused on the bigger picture. When you're focused on where you're headed, nothing can pull you off course. Here's the truth: when you're committed to your purpose, when you truly know your path, the opinions of others start to lose their grip on you. Doubts, negativity, criticisms, they all begin to fade into the background. What really matters is that you're walking your own journey. What matters is that you're doing what you're meant to do. And when you're clear about that, nothing can stop you. But clarity alone isn't enough. Knowing who you are and what you want is just the beginning. You've got to put in the work. You've got to fight for it. You've got to keep going, even when the road feels impossible. Because here's the reality: anything worth having, anything truly great, doesn't come easily. It demands work. It demands dedication. And above all, it demands resilience. Resilience is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about the ability to keep going when things get tough. It's about perseverance, pushing through challenges and staying focused no matter what. Life will test you. It will place obstacles in your way and people in your path and try to bring you down. But if you're resilient, if you're committed, if you're willing to keep moving forward despite it all, you'll emerge stronger on the other side. Resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. It's something you cultivate through experience and challenge. Every setback you face, every obstacle you overcome, is an opportunity to strengthen your mental armor. It's a chance to prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. And the more you build that resilience, the less things can affect you. You begin to see setbacks as temporary obstacles, as part of the process. Staying focused becomes easier because you know deep down that you have the strength to get through anything. But here's the thing: you don't have to do it alone. While resilience is built within, it doesn't mean you can't lean on others for support. The people you surround yourself with matter. Their voices, their energy, their influence, they all have an impact on your mindset, your confidence, and your resilience. That's why it's crucial to choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who challenge you to grow, who remind you of your worth when you forget. At the same time, be that kind of person for others. Support their journey. Lift them up. Encourage them when they're struggling. The energy you put out into the world has a way of coming back to you. When you help others rise, you rise too. But don't confuse support with validation. You don't need anyone to validate your worth or tell you you're enough. That's something you must know for yourself. The people in your life are there to support you, not to define you. They're there to encourage you, challenge you, and help you grow, but they don't get to decide your path. Only you can do that. At the end of the day, it all comes down to you, your mindset, your resilience, your willingness to persevere no matter what. Life will test you. People will doubt you, criticize you, and try to bring you down. But you have a choice. Let it affect you, or rise above it. Let the negativity pull you down, or focus on your purpose, on who you are and what you're here to do. It's not easy. It never is. But it's worth it. Because when you walk through life with clarity, purpose, and resilience, nothing can stop you. You become unshakable. you become unstoppable. And that is where true power lies. Now, let's be clear, this doesn't mean you won't feel frustrated, upset, or angry at times. You're human, and those emotions are natural. But it does mean you don't let those emotions control you. You feel them, acknowledge them, and then move forward. You don't let them dictate your actions or pull you off course. The moment you allow your emotions to control you, the moment you start reacting to everything around you, you lose focus on what really matters. Here's an example. Imagine you're working on a big project, something you've poured your heart into, you've worked hard, and you're proud of it. Then someone comes along and criticizes it. They tell you it's not good enough, that you should have done it differently. Now, you have two options. You can let that criticism affect you. You can let it make you doubt yourself, question your work, and feel like you're not good enough. Or you can take a step back and evaluate the situation objectively. Is the criticism valid? Is there something you can learn from it? Or is it just someone's opinion? If it's not helpful, let it go. Don't let it get under your skin. Don't let it shake your confidence or self-worth. That's the mindset you need to cultivate. Learn to filter what's useful from what's not. Focus on what helps you grow and let the rest fade away. At the end of the day, it's not about what others think, it's about what you think. It's about how you feel about yourself and your work. If you let other people's opinions control you, you'll never reach your full potential. Constructive criticism has value, but you have to know how to recognize it and separate it from the noise. Some people want to help you grow, while others aim to tear you down. Discern the difference and take control of what you allow into your space. This isn't something you master overnight. It's a process. It takes time and self-awareness. You've got to check your reactions, pause when frustration creeps in, and train yourself to think before responding. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. Suppression is ignoring your feelings. Mastery is understanding them and choosing how to respond. Think of your emotions as fuel. Left unchecked, they can spark a fire that consumes everything. But if controlled, they can drive you forward. Your emotions can either be your greatest asset or your greatest enemy. The choice is yours. The next time frustration, anger, or doubt arises, pause. Don't act immediately. Reflect. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is it justified or am I overreacting? When you take a moment to gain perspective, you see things more clearly. And that clarity allows you to respond intentionally rather than react impulsively. Responding is power. It means you're in control. Reacting means you surrendered control to the situation. When you respond, you're deliberate, thoughtful, and intentional. You're not just going through the motions, you're choosing your path. Cultivate this mindset if you want to keep growing and moving forward. Now, let's talk about expectations. A lot of frustration comes from unmet expectations. We expect life to go a certain way, and when it doesn't, we feel upset. But life rarely unfolds exactly as we plan. Sometimes things fall apart. People let you down. Despite your hard work, things don't always turn out the way you wanted. And when that happens, you have a choice to make. You can let it derail you, throw you off course, or you can accept it, adjust, and keep moving forward. Here's the truth: unmet expectations don't have to control your emotions. Disappointment doesn't have to turn into discouragement. You've got to learn how to act, pivot, and keep going, even when things don't go your way. That's resilience. That's strength. Because life is unpredictable, full of ups and downs. If every little setback throws you off balance, you'll never find your footing. You'll never move forward with confidence. And here's something to consider: what looks like a setback might actually be a setup for something greater. Sometimes the very thing that doesn't go your way leads you to something better. But to see that, you've got to be open. You've got to let go of how you thought things were supposed to happen and trust that things are unfolding as they're meant to. That's where faith comes in. Faith isn't just about believing in something bigger than yourself. It's about believing that everything you're going through has a purpose. It's about trusting that even when things don't make sense, even when challenges seem overwhelming, there's a reason for it. There's a lesson. There's growth. When you have that mindset, life doesn't shake you as easily. Disappointments don't discourage you as much because you understand that every challenge, every setback, every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. When you start seeing things that way, when you shift your perspective, you become unstoppable. But let's be clear, it's a process. It's a daily practice. It takes time to train your mind to focus on what's real and what's important. Building mental toughness, emotional resilience, and spiritual strength isn't easy. It requires effort. But it's worth it, because when you reach the point where your emotions no longer control you, when you navigate challenges with grace and confidence, that's when you find true freedom. And isn't that what we're all striving for? Freedom. Freedom from the opinions of others. Freedom from the fear of failure. Freedom from the constant need for validation. Freedom from the emotions that hold us back. That kind of freedom comes from mastering your emotions, responding instead of reacting, and building an inner strength that external circumstances can't shake. But don't get it wrong. This isn't about being emotionless. It's not about walking through life like a robot, unaffected by anything. No, it's about being fully human, experiencing the full range of emotions like joy, sorrow, anger, love, and frustration, but not letting any single emotion control you. It's about finding balance. It's about mastering your inner world so that no matter what's happening around you, you remain grounded, focused, and forward-moving. So how do you get there? How do you build emotional mastery? It starts with self-awareness. You need to know yourself. Understand your triggers, your patterns, your tendencies. Pay attention to how you react in different situations. Do you get defensive when criticized? Do you shut down when overwhelmed? Do you lash out when angry? Recognizing these patterns is the first step to changing them. Once you're aware of how you typically react, you can begin making conscious choices about how you want to respond. It's not easy at first. It takes practice, mindfulness, and patience. But the more you practice responding instead of reacting, the more natural it becomes. And yes, there will still be moments when your emotions get the better of you. That's okay. What matters is how you handle those moments. Human. Do you beat yourself up over them? Let one mistake derail your progress? Or do you acknowledge it, learn from it, and keep moving forward? That's the key. Keep moving forward. No matter what happens, no matter how many times you stumble, no matter how often you're knocked down, get back up and keep going. Because the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. It's growth. As long as you're moving in the right direction, as long as you're making an effort, you're winning. And it's not just about the opinions of others. Sometimes it's the situations we face that throw us off balance. Life is unpredictable. Things happen that we didn't plan for, things that feel unfair, overwhelming. You might lose a job, go through a breakup, or face a health challenge. In those moments, it's easy to feel like the world is against you. It's easy to let those situations affect your mindset, your motivation, your outlook. But you can't let that happen. Life will always have its ups and downs. There will be good times and hard times. The key is to not let the hard times break you. Don't let them make you lose sight of your goals and purpose. When challenges come your way, stay grounded. Remind yourself that no matter what happens, you're in control of how you respond. You control your attitude, your mindset, and your actions. When you focus on what you can control, instead of letting circumstances dictate your feelings, you find your strength. That's what resilience is about. It's about bouncing back from adversity. It's about standing strong in the face of challenges. And you can't do that if every little thing affects you. You can't do that if you're constantly reacting to every situation, every comment, every obstacle. You need to develop an inner strength, a calm, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing deep down that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. You're going to handle it. You're going to keep moving forward. Let me be clear, this isn't just some motivational speech. This is real talk. Life will test you, and it won't always be pretty. There will be moments when everything feels like it's spiraling out of control. Maybe you're blindsided by a sudden change, like losing a job. It's tough. It can knock the wind out of you, make you feel like the ground has vanished beneath your feet. But it's in those moments that you have to dig deep. You've got to pull on that resilience. Remind yourself of your strengths, your abilities, and your capacity to overcome. And what about relationships? Breakups can feel devastating. You pour your heart into someone, and when it ends, it's as if a part of you is missing. It's easy to fall into sadness, to let that pain consume you. But you've got to remember you're still you. You've still got a life to live, dreams to chase, and people who care about you. Don't let one person's choice define your worth or your future. Rise above it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. And then there are health challenges, a completely different kind of battle. They can shake you to your core. One moment, you're living your life, feeling great, and the next, everything changes with an unexpected diagnosis. It's easy to feel hopeless, to let fear take over. But remember, fear is just a reaction, and reactions can be controlled. Take a step back and remind yourself that you have the power to fight, to advocate for yourself, and to face those challenges head on. You can choose how to respond, let the diagnosis define you, or fight for your health, happiness, and life. So how do you cultivate this resilience? How do you build inner strength? It starts with self-awareness. You need to know yourself, your values, your goals. You need to understand what's truly important to you. When life throws challenges your way, this foundation will keep you grounded. You can't let the chaos around you dictate who you are or what you want. You've got to stay committed to your purpose. Take time each day to reflect. Ask yourself, what do I want? What am I fighting for? When you're clear about your purpose, external circumstances lose their power. Challenges become just that, challenges. They're not roadblocks, they're stepping stones. They're opportunities to grow, to learn, and to evolve into a better version of yourself. Let's not sugarcoat it, this won't be easy. There will be days when you feel overwhelmed, when giving up feels like the easier option. There will be moments when nothing seems to go your way. But it's in those moments that you've got to dig deeper. Strength is built in adversity. Just as muscle grows through resistance, your emotional and mental strength grows when you push through life's challenges. Another crucial piece of resilience is surrounding yourself with the right people. You need a support system, people who uplift you, challenge you to be better, and believe in you even when you struggle to believe in yourself. These are the people who remind you of your worth when you forget, who keep you grounded when life gets chaotic, and who encourage you to keep going when you feel like giving up. But here's the thing, you've got to be that person for yourself first. Be your own biggest cheerleader. Practice self-love and self-compassion. Treat yourself the way you would treat a friend going through tough times. Encourage yourself. Lift yourself up. Remind yourself of your strengths. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who will? And let's talk about perspective. When life hits you hard, it's easy to get stuck in a negative mindset. You start to feel like everything is going wrong, like nothing will ever get better. But here's the truth, your perspective shapes your reality. If you focus on the negative, that's all you'll see. But if you shift your perspective, if you look for the silver linings and the lessons in every situation, you'll find hope, even in the darkest times. For instance, losing a job is undeniably hard, but it can also open up new opportunities. Maybe it's a chance to explore a career path you've always dreamed of. Maybe it's an opportunity to learn new skills or start your own business. The key is to see the potential for growth instead of fixating on the loss. When you approach challenges with this mindset, you don't just survive, you thrive. You don't just bounce back, you spring forward. You take those obstacles and use them as fuel to propel you toward your goals. Now let's address fear, which often accompanies life's challenges. Fear is a natural human emotion. It's designed to protect us, but it can also hold us back. When faced with the new or the uncertain, fear can paralyze you, keeping you from taking the necessary steps to move forward. But remember, fear is just a feeling, not a fact. You have the power to acknowledge it and act anyway. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, every time you face fear head on, you build resilience. You prove to yourself that you're capable, that you can handle whatever comes your way. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Fear stops controlling you and starts motivating you. When I'm faced with fear, I ask myself, what's the worst that could happen? And then I realize, even if things don't go as planned, I'll still be okay. I'll still have the strength to pick myself up, learn from the experience, and keep going. That realization is powerful. It pushes me through fear and into action. Let's not forget the importance of self-care in this process. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Make time for the things that recharge you and bring you joy. Whether it's exercise, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing a hobby, make it a priority. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges. You'll have more energy, clarity, and resilience to draw upon. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about growing stronger. It's about taking your experiences, both good and bad, and using them to become a better version of yourself. Every setback, every challenge, every hardship is an opportunity for growth. Don't just survive them, thrive because of them. Learn from them. Reflect on how they've shaped you, and use that knowledge to move forward with confidence. Life's journey isn't smooth. There will be bumps, detours, and moments when you feel lost. But don't lose sight of your destination.